the servant king. He calls us now to follow him, to bring our lives as a daily offering of worship to the servant king.
Lord Jesus, as we come to the cross, we don't want to rush past this moment or move too quickly to what is next. Help us slow ourselves down before we pray. Give us understanding of distance. Draw us closer, not just to understanding, but to your presence. As we remember your suffering, your obedience, the life poured out. Quiet our hearts, still our thoughts, settle our spirits. Lay aside the distractions we carry, the noise within us, the things that pull us away. Help us to stay here, to see what you are doing, to feel the weight of it, and to receive what you have given. Hold us here with you, Lord, not as observers, but as those who are seen, known, and loved by you. Amen. Very early in the morning, the leading priests, the elders, and the teachers of religious law, the entire High Council met to discuss their next step. They bound Jesus, led him away, and took him to Pilate, the Roman governor. Pilate asked Jesus, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus replied, "You have said it." Then the leading priests kept accusing him of many crimes. And Pilate asked him, "Aren't you going to answer them? What about all these charges they are bringing against you?" But Jesus said nothing, much to Pilate's surprise. Now it was the governor's custom each year during the Passover celebration to release one prisoner, anyone the people requested. One of the prisoners at that time was Barabbas, a revolutionary who had committed murder in an uprising. The crowd went to Pilate and asked him to release a prisoner as usual. "Would you like me to release to you this king of the Jews?" Pilate asked, for he realized by now that the leading priests had arrested Jesus out of envy. But at this point, the leading priests stirred up the crowd to demand the release of Barabbas instead of Jesus. Pilate asked them, "Then what should I do with this man you call the king of the Jews?" They shouted back, "Crucify him!" "Why?" Pilate demanded. "What crime has he committed?" But the mob roared even louder, "Crucify him!" So to pacify the crowd, Paul released Barabbas to them. He ordered Jesus flogged with a lead-tipped whip, then turned him over to the Roman soldiers to be crucified. The soldiers took Jesus into the courtyard of the governor's headquarters, called the Praetorium, and called out the entire regiment. They dressed him in a purple robe, and they wove thorn branches into a crown and put it on his head. Then they saluted him and taunted, "Hail, King of the Jews!" And they struck him on the head with a reed stick, spit on him, and dropped to their knees in mocked worship. When they were finally tired of mocking him, they took off the purple robe and put his own clothes on him again. Then they led him away to be crucified.
the old rugged cross, I will ever be true. Its shame and reproach gladly bear. And then he'll call me someday to my home far away, where his glories forever I'll share. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown.
Carrying the cross by himself. He went to the place called Place of the Skull, in Hebrew, Golgotha. There they nailed him to the cross. Two others were crucified with him, one on either side with Jesus between them. Pilate posted the sign on the cross that read, Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews. The place where Jesus was crucified was near the city, and the sign was written in Hebrew, Latin, and Greek, so that many people could read it. And the leading priests objected and said to Pilate, change it from King of the Jews to, he said, I am the King of the Jews. Pilate replied, no, what I have written, I have written. And the soldiers had crucified Jesus. They divided his clothes among the four of them. They also took his robe, but it was seamless, woven in one piece from top to bottom. So they said, rather than tearing it apart, let's throw dice for it. This fulfilled the scripture that said, they divided my garments among themselves, and they threw dice for my clothing. So that is what they did. Standing near the cross were Jesus' mother and his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. Jesus saw his mother standing there beside the disciple he loved. He said to her, dear woman, here is your son. And he said to this disciple, here is your mother. From then on, this disciple took her into his home. Jesus knew that his mission was now finished, and to fulfill the scripture, he said, I am thirsty. A jar of sour wine was sitting there, so they soaked a sponge in it, put it on a hyssop branch, and held it up to his lips. And Jesus tasted it and said, it is finished. And he bowed his head and gave up his spirit. We've been walking with Jesus, watching him step by step choose this path. Not drifting, not reacting, not caught up in something beyond his control. He is choosing the way. Not just once, not in a single moment, but again and again. Each step, each decision, each moment, he is choosing this path. And now we see where that way leads. Not to a throne, not to recognition, not to the kind of victory the crowd expected, but to a cross. And as we come to the cross, everything slows down. The movement of the story begins to narrow. The noise begins to fade. The voices that once shouted begin to fall quiet. And what is really happening begins to come into view. Because what we see here isn't just suffering. It isn't just injustice. It isn't just the end of a life. What we're seeing is something far deeper than that. Something we don't usually notice straight away. Something we often miss if we move too quickly. We're seeing love. Not spoken, not promised, not explained, but given. Love not held back. Love not measured out. Love not waiting for people who deserve it. Love poured out. Right here. In the weight of this moment, in the suffering we can see, and the suffering that we can't see. God is giving himself, not from a distance, not through someone else, not in a way that keeps him safe from the cost, but fully, personally, completely. And not in just a general sense, not in a vague or distant way, but in a way that is particular, that is costly, that is personal. Isaiah had spoken of this long before it happened. He carried our weaknesses. He bore our sorrows. And we can hear those words. We may even know those words. We may even say those words. But here at the cross, we begin to see what they actually mean. Not as an idea, not as something as we just agree with, but as something that is happening right here, right now, not from a distance, not by removing suffering from the world, not by standing above it, but by stepping into it, entering into the very place where people are hurting, taking it upon himself, carrying what is not his as though it was his own. This is what Jesus is doing. He is not simply near to our sin. He is burying it. He is carrying it. Not simply aware of our brokenness. He's carrying that too. Not simply watching human suffering. He's stepping into it. Fully, completely, without stepping back, without turning away. And what he carries isn't abstract. It's real. The things done to us. The weight we carry. And the things we've done. What he bears isn't distant. It's close. Closer than we often want to admit. It's personal. He carries it for us. He doesn't turn away. He doesn't step back. He doesn't pause and reconsider. He doesn't defend himself. He doesn't resist what is unfolding. He entrusts himself to the Father. And he continues. Even here. When the cost is no longer an idea, when the weight is no longer at a distance, when everything is pressing in, he continues. So the cross is not something that simply happens to Jesus. It's something he walks into, something he embraces, something he chooses willingly, deliberately, knowingly, even when it costs him everything. Jesus is not a victim. He carries his own cross. He speaks when he chooses. He doesn't step back. He knows what is happening. And he is in control of what unfolds. Nothing is slipping away from him. Nothing is beyond him. Nothing is outside his reach. And when the moment comes, his life is not taken from him. He gives it. He lays down his life. He hands over his spirit. This isn't something being done to him. This is the offering of a life not taken, but given. It is finished. This isn't defeat. It's not the end of hope. It's not the closing of a story. It's the completion of what he came to do. The finishing of the work the Father had given him to do. Everything that needed to be done has been done. Everything that needed to be carried has been carried. There's nothing left to add. Nothing left to finish. Nothing left to pay. The work is done. This is how much God loves us. This is what God is like. Not distant, not removed, not standing apart from our lives, but stepping into them. Stepping into our sin, our suffering, our brokenness. Not avoiding it, not going around it, but taking it all upon himself. And so, in Jesus, God gives himself for us, not partially, not cautiously, not with any hint of hesitation, not holding anything back, but giving himself completely. This is the cross. This is love. This is what has been given for me and for you. as evening approached, Joseph, a rich man from Arimathea, who had become a follower of Jesus, went to Pilate and asked for Jesus' body. And Pilate issued an order to release it to him. Joseph took the body and wrapped it in a long sheet of clean linen cloth. He placed it in his own new tomb, which had been carved out of the rock. Then he rolled a great stone across the entrance and left. And that's the end.